Wisp Sports Radio, the voice of women in sport.
Hello, and thank you for downloading The Bolder Woman here on Wisp Sports. This is Season 2, Episode 4, and I'm Chris Stafford.
This is your moment. This is your moment in time. This is your moment. This is your moment to shine, to shine, to shine.
My guest this week is 55-year-old Neringa Jakstiene, a US track and field athlete who just this year has broken 6 world records, 4 of those indoors and 2 outdoors. At the 2019 USA Indoor Championships alone, she broke 4 world records. Neringa then went to Poland and broke 3 more world records. Overall, she has broken world records 14 times, plus 4 records that she repeated. Her indoor 4 world records, pentathlon, long jump, triple, and hurdles, and her outdoor world records were pentathlon, including the long jump of 5 meters and 6 centimeters. Neringa was born in Soviet-controlled Lithuania and faced personal challenges when her mother was being treated for a brain tumor and having to be placed with her sister in a foster home. Sport, though, has always been a part of her life, and she says without it, her life would have no meaning. Moving to the US in 1994 at the age of 30 with her husband, she raised 2 boys, Lucas, who's now 19, and Nedas, who is 24. And at the age of 50, she returned to athletics to make a considerable mark on the master track and field world. Neringa lives in Memphis, Tennessee, where she works as a housekeeper and manages on a very modest budget to travel to meets and continue to fulfill her ambitions of more records and medals in the sport that she loves. Neringa, welcome to the program and thank you for joining me.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Well, tell us a little bit about where you are now in Memphis, Tennessee, because you told me earlier that you have perfect training situation there, convenience to stadium and gym. Talk a little bit about your facilities there for training.
Yes, I live very close to the stadium. It's a Memphis University school where my sons went and graduate, and I can use their facility and practice while it's, daytime. Otherwise, if there's competition, I cannot go there. But it's a wonderful place, and I have everything what I need. Long jump practice, triple jump, high jump, hurdles. Great place. Very happy. And then a little bit farther, my gym. It's a Memphis Jewish Community Center where I, do weights and go swimming and meet people and talk. And then a little bit farther, we have Wolf River. And over there, it's woods, and I can run in the woods, like cross-country a little bit. And in Memphis, it's very hot during the summer, so I can practice in the woods. So it's just great.
Well, with so many events to train for, that's an incredible schedule you must have. Take us through a typical week of training then for you, Neringa.
I really don't have any training schedule. First come my work, and of course after work I'm tired. Sometimes I come to the parking lot in the stadium and I just sit for a while. But then I just push myself to go to practice and do something. I never have any plan. I just listen my body and I just do what I feel, what I want to do, and I can do. Sometimes I do more than I plan, and sometimes I do a little bit less. I just listen my body. And I don't have coach. I just practice, what I can, because I have to provide everything for my sons. and job comes first.
And of course, you've raised two boys now, 19 and 24. Tell us about your job.
I'm housekeeper, and I do all day. No, don't sit. I always moving, vacuuming, scrubbing. It's hard work, and after that, I go to practice. If it's still, daytime. If it's getting dark, I'm going in the gym because stadium is closing when it's dark. It's just lots of physical work for me, so it's very hard.
And how many days a week do you work then, Neringa?
I work every day except Saturday and Sunday, and some couple days a week. Like half day I work, couple days, and other days I work all day. Sometimes I have one time a week I work maybe 10 or 12 hours.
So each day is different then. So I guess you plan your training around that schedule then, and fit in, as you said, what you can, where you can. And what about leading up to competitions then? Talk a little bit about, if you don't have a coach, how you know how to train for competitions to be at your best at that event.
I do practice, and I remember when I was, athlete in Lithuania, and how we practice, how my coach trained me, and I do similar job, similar practice. So I just practice what I can do, and here I got very, very successful year, 2018, the best in my life, not just in my master's years, the best in my life. I'm so excited. I just start counting my results, my records, and I have to write it on a paper, because every competition this year, starting indoor season, every competition was record, broken record, one or two, even was 4 records in one meet, which was awesome.
It's absolutely amazing.
Not world record, it would be American record. And I competed in 2019 every major meet, starting from combined events, USA combined events in June, and the next competition was National Senior Games in Albuquerque, and then we had USA Outdoor Championship in Ames, Iowa, and then straight I went to Toronto Regionals competition. So all was very successful and not big injuries or some. I was very fortunate this year, 2018.
It was a tremendous year. So how many competitions would you have then, say, in a month, each month? Because that's a lot of major competitions, but how often do you compete then typically in a month?
I just look at the schedule, and because I turned 55 this fall, not this fall, but 2018 in fall, October 2018, I turned 55, and I went to different age group, 55, 59, and I looked for the records, world records, and I see that I maybe can break them, and I keep training hard, and I just look at the schedule, what competition. It's very important that year, and I competed in every competition. So this is how I look online, for the schedule, and I adjust my workout. Like before competition, you do a little bit lighter practices than in preparing season.
Well, it obviously works for you. You mentioned there growing up in Lithuania, you did other sports as well. Let's talk about growing up in Lithuania, what sports that you were exposed to. Talk a little bit about that and what that was like for you, what the opportunities were in Lithuania.
I did track and field in Lithuania also. When I was in 7th grade, PE teacher said, "You run very fast. I'll take you to the coach so you can practice." And she took me there, and I started practicing running events. I didn't like middle distance, so they transferred me to another coach. His name is Valentas Sabaliauskas, and I did long jump, high jump, and we practiced hurdles. I was very successful running hurdles in practice, and then, I started compete in hurdles. So I was breaking Lithuania records so many times. And then when I was 17, 18 years old, I was in Soviet Union junior team. I was competing for Soviet Union, and we were traveling to foreign countries to compete. I was very successful when I was in high school. And this is, my major events was hurdles and long jump. And then triple jump, ladies started to jump when I was like almost finishing my sport career, like early 1990s, because we didn't have triple jump event for the ladies earlier.
And you lived in the capital, Vilnius, in Lithuania, which was, of course, then Soviet-controlled, and grew up in a foster home, I understand. Talk a little bit about that, because that must have been difficult for a young girl, because your mother was suffering from ill health too.
Yes, we lived in a very bad, not very bad, but it's very difficult situation. My mom was sick. She had tumor in her head when I was little, and we lived in a house where one kitchen, and there was 5 families using that kitchen with one faucet. It was cold water, just one sink was cold water. And we didn't have bathroom was outside. And so it was one room for family of 4. It was very hard, living condition. And we didn't have heating or cooling. So, and since my mom was having tumor, me and my sister, we went to foster home, like school. And this is how I, grow up. But when my mom get a little bit better, I would come home for the weekends. So, and this is, I graduate foster home, elementary, middle, and high school over there. So it was very, very hard condition of living.
And how old were you then when you left that? And what was the journey to the U.S.? How did that come about? You're moving to the U.S. That must have been hard to leave your family.
It was hard. I was almost 30 years old. My husband moved first, and he, got green card to the job. He was doing decorative concrete designing, and I moved also after 3 years, and we started family, and I wanted to compete also. And my husband said, there is no way to compete for your age. There is just high school students competing and college students competing in track and field. But there's like 5K run, 10K or marathon you can run. And I wasn't long distance runner. So I just put my spikes away, and I raced the boys until I turned 50, and a lady at the church mentioned me about Senior Olympics Tennessee. And I didn't know how to sign up for those events. So finally I figured out, I signed in for the districts. After that, without districts, you cannot go to Tennessee Senior Olympics. So I went to Senior Olympics in 2015, first time. And with little practice, maybe 5 months, I just was practicing. I broke 7 Tennessee records, and I brought 8 or 10 gold medals. And that encouraged me to keep working out, keep breaking more records.
That's extraordinary how motivated you were there, Neringa, to be so competitive. Where does that competitive nature come from then? Did your siblings, did they compete as well? Or were your parents at one time athletic?
No one competed, no siblings, no parents. It just, when I started in 7th grade, and my coach was very nice, he didn't push us too much, like, sometimes coaches pushing too much and kids just don't want to come back to practice. And we traveled and we had sport camps. I really like it, and my results was growing so quickly, and competed for the team of Soviet Union, which is, very big deal. It's a big country was that time. And how to say, my coach gave me love for the sport forever, I think, by, coaching us and being such a nice person. I have that love for sports forever, for the rest of my life. I cannot imagine day without sport. If day without sport, I feel like this is, I'm wasting my time in life. It keeps me so happy. It keeps me strong and fit. Even I'm 55 right now. I will be 56 in October. My clothes size the same since I was 17. Nothing changed. Same size. I don't have to buy clothes a lot,
That's very convenient.
It is, and it keeps me very happy. Sport is like doing magic things, and if you connect your sport with nature, you go in the nature, to exercise. I just feel so amazing. I don't know, you have to experience and be more in the nature and feel that. It's hard to tell because it just gives you so much joy.
Yes, it absolutely does, and we hear that from all our athletes, especially as you get older. The rewards almost become greater. So, I know that you have to be self-funded in this. There's little or no prize money, is there, Neringa? So, is this like an expensive hobby in a way? Or is it a lifestyle that, as you said, that you really just couldn't be without, and you need to be competitive? Are you driven by those competition goals of breaking records?
Yes, I started in Tennessee, breaking records, would compete just one time a year, not far from Memphis, to go to Nashville, 3 hours, just, get hotel for a couple nights and go back. It's not big expenses. But then also in 2017, I went to Huntsman Games, Senior World Huntsman Games in Utah, St. George. And that was my probably, this competition was open more how to say more, I entered into the highest step of competition because I was very successful over there also. And our photo correspondent, Rob from USA Track and Field, he was there and he was taking picture and he posted like new athlete in 50, 54, 80 division. No one heard about me in USA, and he just wrote, "Can't wait to see her at the USA Track and Field Indoor Championship in Landover." And so I went there and I got all first places, and it was 2017 or 18. It was 2018, I think, in Landover in USA Indoor Championship, when I got all first places. But because I had Lithuania citizenship, so the lady after me, she was American, she also got all gold medals. So this was my opening, to the big sport, like USA level. It was Tennessee, like in USA. And later I applied for the citizenship because I was breaking US records, and they couldn't count because they said I am Lithuania citizenship, but I was with green card. So I applied for the citizenship and I got my citizenship 2019. So all the records count as world records, counts like US records. And this is, I worked so hard, and this is results showing 2018, even if I just started in my late 50s.
Which are your favorite events, Neringa?
Favorite events? I like all of them because they're so successful. I like long jump and high jump and triple jump and hurdles, and I like shot put, and I like javelin. I like all of them. And when I practice, I rotate them. I don't do every day same practice like long jump. I just rotate. If I do long jump, I do a little bit hurdles, and if I do high jump, I do maybe sprint. I just listen my body, like come to practice different time, different events, and this is what my energy left for that then.
You're keeping it fun, that's important, isn't it? Just to keep it fun so you enjoy it every time, no matter what you're doing.
That's right, because if you push yourself too much, body is not machine. You can hurt and injure, and then it takes longer to recover and heal your injury. So you have to be very, very careful and, watch your diet. I also go swimming after practice. It helps to recover muscles faster. So, and sleep very important also.
So looking ahead then, what are your goals and competitions for the rest of this year? And then what are you looking forward to next year?
So we already finished our outdoor season, which was last regionals in Toronto, Canada. And it ended July 21st. So all months, just like jogging in the woods and swimming at the pool, outdoor pool. Now season will start again, and I just gonna compete in major competitions because it will be very hard to break my records. World records again. Maybe I'm just gonna go easier this year. We'll see. But we don't have so many competition this year. We have major competition is gonna be USA Masters Indoor Championship in Baton Rouge. So I'm planning to go there. It's going to be middle of March 2020. And then major competition will be USA Track and Field Masters Outdoor in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's going to be in July. And then again in July, we have World Championship in Toronto in July also, 20th through 31st. So these three major competition, coming 2020. But it's also, I can find like children's competitions, like in Birmingham, Alabama, and then they can invite masters also, you can compete. But again, you have to travel and you have to have hotel. It's just expenses. It's, expensive to travel. You have to pay your own. I don't have any sponsors. It's not easy.
You clearly love it, and you will continue to, and I'm sure there'll be many more records to break. So congratulations on everything that you've achieved so far, Neringa, and the very, very best of luck for the future. Thank you very much for coming on the show and being my guest.
Thank you very much for having me.
Conversations from the world of women's sports. This is Wisp Sports Radio.
My thanks again to Neringa. What an inspiring athlete she is, and there's clearly going to be more records to be broken. So we wish her all the very best. And you can hear more inspiring conversations from around the world of women's sports, of course, on our website at wisports.com. And if you missed the Bolder Woman Season 1, there are 20 episodes there that you can catch up with. And, of course, they're also on podcast apps wherever you listen to Wisp Sports. I hope you'll join in the conversation by following us and sharing on social media. And if you'd like to reach us here directly, you can email info@wispsports.com if you have any comments and questions or suggestions for guests on this or any of our shows. So that's it for this episode, but do join us again. And in the meanwhile, thank you for listening and helping us to turn up the volume on women in sport.
And every time you hit the wall, remember you can have it all, even the mighty fall. It's closer than it's ever been, and now it's more than just a win. It's where your life begins.